Hey, brothers and sisters, you scrolling, breathing, still here after all that bullshit. Listen up, because this part is for you and only you. This motherfucker killed people before coming for you. Now they're finding the fuck out. You know exactly who I'm talking about. That person who walked into your life like they'd done this 1,000 times. Like pain was a job and you were just their next shift. They've broken people, crushed people. They've ended futures, shredded self-esteem, wrecked families, ruined trust. And everybody said the same thing about them, right? Careful with them. They're not right in the head. They've destroyed a lot of people. They don't lose. And then they came for you. They really thought you were just another name on the list, another soul to drain, another mind to twist, another heart to step on. But here's the beautiful, fucked up little plot twist. They picked the wrong one. And now they're finding the fuck out. You ever notice how people like that move? They never start with you. They test their tricks on other people first. They practice abuse like a craft. They collect victims like trophies. They killed trust in other people. They killed hope in other people. They killed confidence, joy, self-belief, sometimes even the will to live. Emotionally, mentally, spiritually, sometimes physically. They leave a trail of quiet funerals behind them. Funerals for dreams, for identities, for whole versions of people who never came back. And the world just kept spinning. Life just said, cool story, and turned the page. No sirens, no alarms, no giant red warning label stamped across their forehead. Just, here's this charming, funny, impressive, put together human, all dressed up in charisma and fake vulnerability. They killed people before they came for you. So when they showed up, they thought they were unstoppable. They thought, you're nothing. I've handled worse. I'll do the same thing to you I did to them. They believed their own hype. They believed nobody could touch them. They believed you would fold just like the others. But what they didn't understand is this. You weren't the next victim. You were the final experiment. Because by the time they reached you, something was different. You were already broken, already cracked, already shattered in places they couldn't see. You had scars they didn't know about. You'd been betrayed before. You'd been abandoned before. You'd been emotionally slaughtered before they ever knew your name. They thought your pain made you easier to destroy. But your pain was the exact thing that made you dangerous. You weren't soft clay. You were glass that already broke and got put back together with rage, awareness, and zero tolerance. They came for you with their usual tricks. The manipulation, the guilt, the gaslighting, the love bombing, the subtle digs, the fake apologies, the crocodile tears, the you're crazy, you're overreacting, you're too sensitive, bullshit. And at first, yeah, it probably worked. You doubted yourself. You cried. You froze. You questioned your worth again. Because you're human. Because you care. Because you didn't want to become what hurt you. But then, something snapped. Something ancient inside you sat up and said, no, not this time. Not me. Not like this. That's the moment they started finding out. See, people like that always underestimate one thing. Once you've been hurt enough times, you don't just heal. You evolve. You start analyzing everything. You see patterns they think are invisible. You hear tone shifts nobody else catches. You clock inconsistencies in their stories. You see that smirk when you're breaking down. You notice how they only apologize when they're at risk of losing control. You become a forensic scientist of human behavior. And while they think you're still that soft, naive, breakable little soul, You're actually sitting there like, greater than, yeah, I've seen this movie before, but this time I'm changing the ending. They killed people before coming for you, not just physically. They killed people's belief in themselves. They killed their sense of safety. They made people think, maybe I deserve this. Maybe I am the problem. But when they tried that shit on you, something different happened. You started waking up. Let's talk about that waking up, because that's the main thing they didn't plan for. Waking up isn't pretty. It's not some aesthetic montage with soft music. It's you on the floor at 3 a.m. staring at the wall, realizing they don't love me. They love control. They don't care that I'm hurt. They care that I'm not obeying. They're not sorry. They're scared I'll leave. I wasn't crazy. I was being conditioned. It's that sick, heavy drop in your chest when you finally admit, this person does not want what's best for me. They want what's best for them, at my expense. And that realization, that's the bullet they never saw coming. Because once your mind shifts, everything changes. You stop explaining yourself 12 times. You stop trying to get them to understand you. You stop arguing with delusion. You stop trying to prove your worth to someone who is invested in not seeing it. You start pulling your energy back. You start going quiet. You start observing more than talking. You start moving different. And oh, that's when they really start finding the fuck out. They're not used to that, are they? They're used to tears on command. They're used to you chasing, apologizing, begging. They're used to having the final word, the last say, the ultimate control. So when you go cold, when you stop reacting, when your eyes shift from please don't leave me to try that shit again and see what happens spiritually, their stomach drops because you've switched levels. You're not playing please love me anymore. You're playing I see you, I see everything. And there's nothing more terrifying to a manipulator than someone who sees them clearly and isn't scared anymore. They killed other people's boundaries. They killed other people's self-respect. They killed other people's ability to trust their own mind. But they came for you and accidentally activated you. Let's be clear about something. You didn't turn into a monster. You just stopped volunteering to be a victim. You didn't become heartless. You became selective. You didn't become bitter. You became done. You're not out here plotting violent revenge. That's not your job. You're not the judge, the jury, and the executioner. You are something worse. For them, you're a mirror. You are the one thing they can't stand. A walking reflection of their own ugliness, their own patterns, their own sickness, staring back at them in silence. Your healing, your boundaries, your refusal to cave, that is their punishment. Every time you say no, they feel control slipping. Every time you don't respond to the bait, they feel their power dying. Every time you don't fold, they feel that old script burning. They killed people before coming for you, but you're killing their illusions. Let's talk about karma for a second. Not the cute Instagram quote version, the real version. Karma is not some magical instant bolt of lightning. Karma is compound interest. Every lie they told, every person they broke, every time they knew they were causing harm and doubled down anyway. That shit adds up. And when they came for you, the interest finally matured. You were not just another person. You were the final invoice. Because here's what happens when they try to do the same dirty tricks on someone who's finally awake. You talk. You expose patterns. You set boundaries publicly. You show people receipts. You shine light where they survive on darkness. Or sometimes, you don't say anything at all. You just walk away, and let their own behavior testify against them. And suddenly, people start connecting dots. People start realizing, wait, they did the exact same thing to me. People start comparing stories. People start waking up together. And that's when they really start finding the fuck out. Because their favorite weapon was isolation. Keep each target separated. Make each person think, I'm the only one they treat this way. It must be my fault. But once people compare notes, it's over. Their mask doesn't just slip, it shatters. You know what's empowering as hell? Realizing that your survival is living proof that they're not as powerful as they pretend to be. They killed people before you. Remember? At least that's what the story said. Everybody who deals with them gets wrecked. Everybody who crosses them loses. But you crawled, you bled, you shook, you doubted yourself, and you still got back up. Not clean, not pretty, not flawless, but up. Every day you're still here, they lose. Every time you laugh again, they lose. Every time you move on a little more, they lose. Every time you choose yourself, instead of chasing their approval, they lose. Every time you learn something new, level up, heal one more layer, evolve one more step, they lose. They came for you, expecting to end you. Instead, they accidentally sponsored your transformation. They think they broke you. No, they built something they can no longer access. They can't reach the version of you that's emerging. That version has security clearance they never earned. Let's be raw for a second. You're angry, you're hurt. And sometimes you think, why didn't I see it sooner? Why did I let it go this far? Why did I ignore the red flags? But you have to understand, you weren't stupid. You were hopeful. You wanted to believe someone could be better. You wanted to believe love, loyalty, kindness, effort would reach them. You wanted to believe this time would be different. That doesn't make you weak. That makes you human. They used that against you. They weaponized your empathy, your softness, your desire to fix things. But here's where everything flips. You didn't lose because you cared. They lost because they didn't. And now, that same empathy they abused is being redirected, not toward them, toward you. You're starting to care about yourself with the same intensity you cared about everyone else. You're starting to protect yourself the way you wished someone would have protected you when you were younger. You're starting to show up for yourself like nobody ever did. And that right there is the biggest fuck you to everything they tried to do. They killed people before coming for you. But you are rebuilding yourself with a kind of honesty that terrifies them. Because once you own your story, they can't use it against you anymore. They can whisper, they can lie, they can twist, they can call you crazy, dramatic, obsessive, bitter, the problem. They can run their mouth all day. But here's the thing, they're talking from the same old script. You're speaking from experience and evolution. Their words don't land the same when you've stopped needing them to. You're not chasing their version of you. You're writing your own. You're not trying to prove you're innocent. You know what you survived. You know what you tolerated. You know what you walked away from. You have nothing to prove to someone who would rather lose you than face themselves. And let's talk about the future for a second. Your future. Because this is where most people get stuck. You think this story defines you. You think this pain is your whole identity. You think this betrayal is your permanent label. But that's exactly how they win. That's exactly how they keep killing people long after they're gone. By turning the wound into your personality. You don't owe them that. They took enough already. They don't also get to own your future. So now, Now your job is simple and brutal and sacred. You heal so deeply that you recognize their kind from a mile away. You love yourself so loudly that people like them can't stand the frequency. You build such a solid life that their absence feels like relief, not a hole. You surround yourself with people who would rather lose the argument than lose you. You become the kind of person that the old you needed. You become the safe place that they never were. You become everything they weren't strong enough, honest enough, or human enough to be. And somewhere quietly, reality is closing in on them. The truth catches up. The mask cracks. The charm stops working. The stories stop matching. But the people they used to control stop flinching. They look around and realize, oh, shit, it's me. I'm the problem. That's them finding the fuck out. Not because you destroyed them, but because you refused to let them keep destroying you. So here you are, still standing, maybe shaking but standing, maybe tired but learning, maybe heartbroken, but unguaranteed to break the same way again. You are not the easy target they thought you were. You are living proof that the cycle can stop. You are the one who looked at hell, took notes, and walked out with your soul intact. This motherfucker killed people before coming for you. And yet here you are, existing like a glitch in their system, a walking contradiction to their everyone breaks eventually philosophy. You survived what was designed to erase you, and now every step you take, every boundary you set, every new chapter you write, is another reminder to them and to the whole damn universe that their reign is over and your story is nowhere near done yet. And your story is nowhere near done yet. That's the part that keeps echoing in their head while they pretend everything's fine. Because listen, they're used to people staying broken. They're used to people staying quiet. They're used to being the last page in somebody else's book. But you're walking around like a deleted character that somehow respawned in God mode. And it's messing with them in a way they'll never admit out loud. They replay moments with you. You know, the arguments, the tears, the times you tried to explain your hurt and they rolled their eyes, the times you caught something off and they gaslit you right back into confusion. Back then, they thought it was funny. They thought it was power. They thought, look how easy it is to twist this one up. And then one day, almost casually, you stopped reacting the same way. You didn't announce it. You didn't write a speech. You just switched. The way you texted changed. The way you looked at them shifted. You didn't laugh at the same jokes. You didn't drop everything to fix their chaos. That moment, that subtle, quiet shift, that was their oh shit moment. Because people like that don't fear anger. They fear detachment. Yelling? They can handle that. Crying? They feed on that. Begging? They live for that. But you going emotionally silent while still being physically present? You starting to see them like a pattern instead of a person? That's the beginning of their sentence being read out loud. This motherfucker killed people before coming for you, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. And they walked in expecting an easy encore. They expected you to go out like the rest. Instead, you became the glitch in their code. And yeah, maybe it didn't happen overnight. Maybe you slipped back a few times. Maybe you believed their little performance, those "I promise I'll change" monologues, the fake tears, the "no one understands me like you do" lines. You're not dumb for that. You were seeing the person they could have been if they weren't so committed to being a walking disaster. But each time they repeated the same bullshit, something in you hardened and something in you softened. hardened toward their manipulation, softened toward yourself. You started thinking, hold on, if they can keep choosing themselves like this, why can't I? That's the pivot. That's the point where you stop dying in their story and start writing your own. They used to be the sun in your world, right? Every mood you had was about them. Every decision was about them. You'd check your phone and your stomach would flip depending on their tone, their emoji, their silence. And then slowly, you started becoming the main character in your own life again. You picked up an old hobby, you hit the gym, or tried to eat one proper meal that didn't come out of stress. You cleaned your room, your phone, your contacts list. You unsubscribed from chaos by inches. Nothing dramatic, no fireworks, just small, boring, disciplined actions that didn't have their name all over them. And that's when they really started finding the fuck out. Because they could feel you choosing you in a way that didn't include them at the center. See, these types survive on a very specific ecosystem. Secrecy, confusion, instability. Once you bring in clarity, routine, truth, it's like turning on the lights in a cockroach nest. They start scattering. They get irritable. They say you've changed. They accuse you of acting different. And they're right. You did. You are. You're acting like someone who finally realized, I don't have to bleed to prove I care. They killed people before you by making them internalize the harm, by making them believe, I'm the crazy one, I'm the broken one, I'm the reason they act like this. You're breaking that script. And breaking a script is way more dangerous to them than breaking a dish, a phone, or a door. Think about how wild it is. They walked into your life with a proven track record of destruction. Nobody ever checked them. Nobody held up a mirror strong enough. Nobody forced them to face themselves. They had people scared, silenced, ashamed. Nobody wanted to start drama, right? Nobody wanted to ruin their reputation. People just took their pain and swallowed it. Then they met you. You were damaged, yeah, but you were also awake-ish. You had just enough self-awareness to question things. And under all the insecurity, you had a spine that refused to fully snap. That's the part they underestimated, that quiet inner core of I know deep down this isn't right, even when you couldn't prove it. Every time you cried alone, something in you was taking notes. Every time they flipped the script on you, something in you was whispering, file that, remember that, this isn't love. You were building a case in your own mind without even realizing it. And at some point that case got too heavy to ignore. One day, the weight of everything they did collided with the weight of everything you deserve. And your spirit just said, yeah, fuck this. You didn't say it out loud, maybe, but you started acting it. You started blocking. You started muting. You started leaving them on scene. You started canceling plans that made you anxious. You started saying, I'm busy, even if busy was just you trying to remember who you were before all this. This is what they're finding out. You're not obligated to be their favorite victim. You're not obligated to stay in a story that keeps killing you. You're not obligated to keep forgiving behavior that isn't changing. You are allowed to clock the pattern, make a decision, and walk the fuck away. That's power. Not screaming in their face, not posting an angry essay. Power is silence plus distance plus a life that keeps expanding without their name on it. And yeah, you're still healing. You still get that random wave of sadness. You still hear their voice in your head sometimes, telling you you're too much or not enough. You still get triggered by tone, by certain phrases, by someone being a little too familiar. None of that means you failed. That just means you're human and you went through some heavy shit. Healing isn't erasing the memory. Healing is remembering without willingly walking back into the fire. You know that feeling when something reminds you of them and your chest tightens. But instead of texting them, you breathe, you ground yourself, you message a friend, you journal, you hit the gym, you put on a song that reminds you of who you're becoming instead of who tried to break you. That right there is you rewiring your nervous system. And that, quietly, is their empire falling apart. Because their whole identity depended on people staying stuck on them, fixated on them, orbiting them. Every person who breaks out of that orbit is a piece of their power, evaporating. All right, listen up, you beautiful lawsuit waiting to happen. Yeah, I'm talking to you. The one who got played, underpaid, overlooked, gaslit, stepped on, laughed at, kindly dismissed, buried under policies and procedures and, sorry, there's nothing we can do. The one who kept swallowing it, telling yourself, maybe it's not that deep, while your whole nervous system was screaming that it is that deep. You hear me now? Good. Because you are about to sue the life out of this whole damn city, spiritually, mentally, energetically, legally if you choose. And once you're done, even the mayor's gonna need a loan just to afford the guilt. You know what they did to you? They treated you like background noise. They wanted you to be the extra in a movie that's actually about them. The boss with the fake smile. The institution with the mission statement that's just a PR filter over exploitation. The people who said, we're a family here, while quietly draining your time, your health, your self-esteem like it was free coffee. They messed up, though. They forgot background noise can turn into earthquake sirens. They forgot that when you press a person hard enough, long enough, for years, you don't just ruin them. You forge them. And that's what's happening to you right now, whether you see it yet or not. You're being forged into the kind of problem their pretty little system was never built to handle. You're not just mad. Mad is too small. You're done. There's a difference. Mad still negotiates. Mad still explains. Mad still tries to make them understand. Done. Done is when you stop asking for clarity from people who profit off your confusion. Done is when you stop begging for fairness inside a game that was built crooked on purpose. Done is when you look at the whole city, these companies, schools, leaders, fake friends, and say, somebody's gonna pay for what happened to me. And spoiler alert, it's not gonna be me again. That's the lawsuit energy I'm talking about. Not just papers and courtrooms. I'm talking about you serving consequences. Let's be real. This city thinks you won't do anything. They think you're too tired, too broke, too overwhelmed, too attached, too scared to start over. They've got you filed under won't actually leave, won't actually speak up, won't actually push back. You've been nodding along, right? Smiling, saying it's fine, making excuses for their behavior to protect the little piece you have left. But inside, you've been building a case. Every time they disrespected you and then said, you're overreacting, you put that in the file. Every time they used your work and gave the credit to someone else, you put that in the file. Every time they crossed your boundaries and then made you feel guilty for having them, you put that in the file. You have receipts, maybe not literal screenshots for everything, but your body kept the score. Your mind kept the screenshots. Your spirit kept the time stamps. And now that file is thick enough to crush a city. Let's talk about this city for a second. It's bigger than buildings and street names. It's every system, every person, every room that told you, Be grateful this door even opened. People like you don't get that far. You're asking for too much. That's just how it is. That just how it is phrase. That's their favorite weapon. That's how they keep you obedient. That's how they turn injustice into something you're supposed to tolerate, like bad weather. But you're not the weather. You're the lawsuit. You're the storm notice. You are the one who walks into "that's just how it is" and says, "Cool story. Now here's how it's gonna be." You know what suing the life out of the city truly means? It means you stop letting this place overdraft your soul. They've been taking your time, your youth, your energy, your love, your ideas, your silence, and in exchange they gave you anxiety, underpayment, broken trust. Maybe next year. You're not ready yet. We'll look into it. You're about to serve a final notice. No more free access. No more free emotional labor. No more free second chances. No more free explanations for people who already understand. They just don't care. You're not a volunteer emotional support animal for a city that keeps biting you. And yes, let's talk about how deep this went. Because I want you to actually feel in your bones that you're not dramatic. You're not too sensitive. You're not bitter. You're reacting to real damage. How many nights did you lie awake replaying conversations, thinking, "I should have said this," or "Maybe they're right. Maybe I am the problem"? How many times did you downplay what happened because everyone else acted like it was normal? Toxic job. That's just work. Toxic relationship. All couples fight. Toxic family. That's still your blood. Toxic society. That's how it's always been. They gaslit you into thinking you're crazy while standing on top of the chaos they caused. And you were so desperate for peace that you turned on yourself instead of them. You blamed yourself because that's the only thing you felt like you could control. But here's the twist. The moment you stop blaming yourself, you free up your hands to do something much more dangerous. You start holding them accountable. That's what this speech is. This is me handing you your metaphorical briefcase, full of boundaries, full of self-respect, full of rage that finally found the purpose. You're not going back and forth with them anymore. You're not debating your worth with people whose whole personality is, "You should be smaller, so I feel bigger." You're not trying to prove your humanity to systems that profit when you doubt it. You are building your case and living your revenge in how you move. When you walk away from the room that keeps belittling you, that's evidence. When you report what happened instead of staying hushed to keep the peace, that's evidence. When you choose therapy over another year of self-destruction, evidence. When you refuse to laugh along at your own devaluation, evidence. You're not petty, you're precise, you're strategic, you're tired of being the only one who pays. Let's talk about the mayor. The mayor is the face of the system that hurt you. The boss, the abuser, the manipulator, the institution, the leader, the one who smiles for the cameras and sleeps just fine at night because they assume you're not going anywhere. You need us more than we need you. They think you wouldn't dare because you're too nice, too quiet, too emotional, too dependent. But that version of you, they overdrafted that account. You gave them your loyalty, your patience, your trust, and they bounced every check. So now the mayor is standing on all your unpaid pain like it's free flooring. Suing the life out of the city means this. You're about to flip the script until even they realize they can't afford what they did to you. They can't afford the silence you're no longer giving. They can't afford the talent you're taking elsewhere. They can't afford the story you're finally telling. They can't afford the you that's not scared anymore. Once you're done evolving, the mayor is gonna need a loan just to keep the lie going. I want you to imagine something. Not a scene, not some movie, just a feeling. You wake up one day and you truly, deeply accept that what happened to you was wrong. No more, well, maybe. No more, it's not that serious. No more others have it worse, so I shouldn't feel this way. You drop all of that. You say, what they did to me was wrong. Do you understand how dangerous that makes you? Because once you accept it was wrong, you stop trying to earn back what you never should have lost in the first place. You stop performing your worth. You stop auditioning for basic respect. You start acting like someone who deserves better and isn't apologizing for it. That's when the city starts to panic. Not because you're loud. Sometimes you'll be quiet. Not because you're violent. You don't need that. But because you stopped being available for their exploitation. You're not a character in their story anymore. You're the one writing the report, stamping the file, closing the case. You know what else you're suing this city for? You're suing for every version of you that died trying to fit in. The younger you who dimmed their voice in class so teachers wouldn't call them too much. The version of you that dressed down so you wouldn't stand out too much. The version that took the blame to keep the family from exploding. The version that stayed quiet at work because I need the check. The version that accepted crumbs in relationships because you thought love was something you had to earn by suffering first. You're suing for all of them. You're walking into your future with a little army of your past selves behind you. And they're all looking at you like, greater than please don't let them get away with what they did to us. And listen, you can't go back and fix every scene. You can't rewrite the whole history. But you can do something that echoes backward. You can stop letting it happen again. You can become the version of you that that younger self needed to see. That's what empowered actually looks like. It's not aesthetic. It's not a quote on a background with a sunset. It's you making choices that make your past self feel safe and your future self feel proud, even if your present self is shaking. Let's talk about fear, because yeah, it's there. You're not wrong to be scared. You're not weak for hesitating. You're not fake, because some days you still want to go back to what's familiar. They trained you to be terrified of losing what little they gave you. If you speak up, you'll lose the job. If you leave, you'll be alone. If you tell anyone, no one will believe you. If you stop being nice, everyone will turn on you. They held your life hostage with what if. But here's the plot twist. If the cost of keeping something is you, then you don't have it. It has you. You are not suing this city because you're fearless. You're suing it because you're tired of your fear being their business model. You're allowed to be scared and still move different. You're allowed to be anxious and still set boundaries. You're allowed to shake and still say no. Fear is a witness, not a judge. It can sit in the courtroom of your mind, but it doesn't get to bang the gavel. You're going to notice something once you really step into this energy. People who benefited from the old version of you will call the new version selfish, cold, ungrateful, changed. They're right. You have changed. That's the point. They're not mad because you're wrong. They're mad because their free trial expired. They're mad because the always available you has office hours now. The "I'll fix it" you started letting people sit in the consequences of their own mess. The quiet you now says, "Actually, that's not okay." The forgiving you still forgives, but doesn't restore access. You are not here to be everybody's emotional vending machine. Punch in enough, get something for cheap. No. Price went up, and the city's budget not ready. So what does suing the life out of this whole city actually look like in your daily life? It looks like you updating your standards and enforcing them. You documenting what happens to you instead of gaslighting yourself. You learning your rights at work, in relationships, in your own mind, and using that knowledge like armor. You walking away from what does not change, no matter how much history or hope you have with it. You telling the truth about what happened to you, even if your voice shakes and your hands sweat. And sometimes, it looks like literally getting legal, going after what's yours in real life. Sometimes it looks like emotional and spiritual litigation, cutting off access, ending cycles, refusing to participate in your own oppression. You are turning your pain into a case, and your evolution is the verdict. Understand this. When I say, once you're done, the mayor gon' need a loan, I don't just mean money. They're gonna need a loan of your patience that you no longer offer, a loan of your silence that you no longer give, a loan of your unpaid emotional labor that you no longer provide, a loan of your belief in their mask that you no longer fall for. They're going to realize, slowly and then all at once, that the version of you they banked on, the exhausted, doubting, apologizing version, is gone. And all that's left is someone who looks them in the eye and knows, without flinching, that they were wrong. Not maybe wrong, not kind of wrong, not we both made mistakes. Wrong. And the bill for that, it's showing up every time they see you living a life that their control was supposed to prevent. So you're not just surviving this, you're collecting your dignity, collecting your self-trust, collecting your time back, collecting your power from every corner where you left it, because you thought you didn't deserve to keep it. You're going line by line through the contract they tricked you into, and saying, nope, that clause is a lie, that condition is dead, that limitation is not mine. You're rewriting the terms. And the city's going to feel it. Every time you say no to something that used to drain you, a little light goes out in their control tower. Every time you say yes to something that actually heals you, another crack spreads through their concrete. They thought you were just one person. They forgot one person can be the class action. So go ahead. Hold your head the way someone does when they finally accept they were never the problem. Move like someone who knows they're the main event, not the side note. Talk like someone whose throat is no longer on clearance. You are about to sue the life out of this whole city with nothing but your truth, your boundaries, your evolution, and your refusal to stay small. And when you're done, the mayor, every past abuser, exploiter, manipulator, every system that bet against you, they're going to realize they're in debt to a version of you they never thought would show up. You. The version of you they prayed would never wake up, because they were comfortable with the version of you that doubted every instinct, apologized for existing too loudly, laughed things off that actually hurt like hell. That version was easy to manage, easy to guilt trip, easy to keep in place with crumbs and fake compliments. This version reads the room, clocks the manipulation, and doesn't hand out access like free Wi-Fi. You start to feel it in small moments first, tiny details that nobody else sees. You hear someone talk to you sideways, that little condescending tone they used to get away with, and this time there's no anxiety spiral afterward. There's just this quiet, icy clarity in your chest. You're not talking to the old me. You watch someone try that same guilt tactic they've always used. After everything I've done for you, you're really gonna do this to me? And instead of folding, you feel your spine lock in. You notice how many situations in your life were built on you, not knowing you had options. That's the lawsuit energy kicking in. It's like your whole life has been this long, messy case file, and suddenly you're flipping through it with fresh eyes going, how did I not notice this pattern before? The late night texts, only when they need something. The boss who forgets your contribution, but remembers you when there's extra work. The friend who disappears when you're low, but magically appears for the fun stuff. The family member who only reaches out to criticize you and calls it caring. You start connecting the dots, and it hits you. They weren't just being human. They were building a system around you. A system where you lose by default. You were never meant to win in that setup. The rules were written in a language you weren't supposed to understand. And every time you tried to enforce your worth, they threatened you with loss. You'll lose this relationship. You'll lose this job. You'll lose this opportunity. That fear kept you chained to situations where you were already losing yourself anyway. You're looking at all that now and you're realizing, kind of painfully, kind of beautifully, greater than I've been paying interest on debts that weren't mine. That's why this hits so deep, because you're not just mad at them. You're mad that you bought into it, mad that you went against your own intuition to keep people comfortable, mad that you silenced yourself to protect the same structures that were killing you slowly. And instead of turning that anger inward again, this time you're redirecting it outward with precision. That's the lawsuit, not chaos, not randomness, not I hate everyone. Calculated accountability. You're starting to become allergic to lies that used to sound normal. People like you should be grateful. You're too emotional. You're asking for too much. You're lucky to even be here. You hear that now and your whole spirit says, if I'm lucky to be disrespected, I'm not the lucky one. There's a version of you emerging that doesn't negotiate your worth, like a discount code. You begin to understand that the city, this whole network of people, systems, patterns, has been living off your underestimation. They built a budget based on you staying quiet. You start pulling that silence back, piece by piece. You vent in therapy instead of masking it as, it's fine. You write things down, put dates to them, keep track instead of letting everything blur together. You ask questions in meetings you used to just nod through. You stop laughing at jokes that low-key disrespect you. You answer messages slower, or not at all, when you feel that old manipulation crawling in. It looks small from the outside, but internally those are seismic shifts. You're breaking unwritten contracts. They're used to you folding. You're getting used to you not folding. That's terrifying, mostly to them, but yeah, to you too. Because once you realize you don't have to tolerate something, you can't unknow that. You can't unsee who's really there for you and who just likes having access to you. You start to see who's genuinely shaken by your growth and who's just inconvenienced. The ones who truly love you might feel confused, might need to adjust, might get defensive here and there, but they'll sit with the discomfort and meet you where you are. The others, you put up one boundary and you watch them crumble like the whole relationship was held together by your self-betrayal. You've been calling it losing people. It's not. It's the city realizing your energy is no longer public property. You're closing departments. The 24/7 emotional support hotline, the unpaid therapist service, the I'll fix it, don't worry about me unit. Shutting them down, one by one. It doesn't feel clean either. Let's be real, it's messy. You'll have days where you spiral and think, maybe I'm the villain, maybe I am too harsh, maybe I should have stayed, maybe I should have kept quiet. That guilt is part of the rewiring, because your brain got trained to confuse discomfort with wrongness. If you weren't comfortable, you assumed it meant what you were doing was wrong, not that what they were doing was. You're unlearning that. Discomfort is just your nervous system adjusting to a reality where you're not the one getting sacrificed every time something needs to give. You're learning that I feel bad doesn't always equal I did something bad. You're learning that taking your power back hurts at first, especially when your identity was built on martyrdom. You're not just changing habits. You're restructuring who you think you are. You used to think of yourself as the one who could handle anything. The strong one, the reliable one, the one who absorbs the hit so others don't have to. And yeah, that strength is real, but it got used wrong. They weaponized your resilience against you. You're so strong, you'll be fine. Hey, yeah, you. Come here for a second. Let me talk to you directly, face to face. You know, it's kinda wild watching you move through life the way you do. Because, if people were honest, for once they'd admit it. What you do is impressive as hell. And I don't mean impressive in that cheap little Instagram motivational quote way. Nah. I mean the real life kind. The kind that makes people stop mid-sentence, mid-scroll, mid-breath, because they're trying to figure out how you're still standing, how you're still thinking, how you're still becoming. See, what they won't tell you is this. So many people admire your strength and your wisdom, but they pretend they don't. Because admitting that would expose them. It would reveal the cracks in their own masks. And people hate that. They hate when someone else's resilience highlights their own fragility. They hate when your quiet wisdom reminds them that no one ever taught them how to grow up. They just got older. But here you are, still evolving, still sharpening, still refusing to collapse the way everyone secretly predicted you would. And, let me just say this straight. You make that look way too easy. People don't understand the cost of what you carry. They see the cool composure, the little smirk, the I'm good shrug you throw out like a shield. They don't see the nights you clenched your jaw so tight it hurt. They don't see the moments you had to talk yourself back into the world. They don't see how many times you had to rebuild yourself without applause, without guidance, without a damn blueprint. But I see it. I see you. And you know what's funny? Your strength. The one everyone whispers about. It didn't come from comfort. It came from collapsing and rebuilding, from losing and learning, from being underestimated and growing anyway, from standing alone and discovering that solitude sharpens the mind in ways approval never could. That's where your wisdom comes from. Not from books, not from someone handing you a step-by-step guide. but from experience, the raw, unscripted kind. The kind life throws at you when it thinks you're ready for a new level. The kind that turns regular people into, well, whatever you've become. And, I mean that in the best terrifying way possible. People admire you because your strength isn't loud. It doesn't need to be. It's quiet, controlled, unsettling. The kind that makes people think, damn, if they went through what I went through, they'd probably handle it better. And your wisdom, it's not preachy, it's not annoying, it's not that fake, let me teach you something so I can feel smart nonsense. No, your wisdom is the kind that comes out in little sentences, little glances, little reminders that you've seen some things and survived them. It's lived-in wisdom, scar wisdom, wisdom soaked in reality, not fantasy. That's why people admire you. That's why they ask you for guidance even if you don't talk much. That's why they listen when you speak, even if you're not trying to give a speech. That's why they come to you when life hits hard. Because you're built like someone who's already been through the storm 1,000 times. And the scary part? You're just getting started. You're tapping into a version of yourself that, honestly, most people will never reach. Not because they can't, but because they won't. They avoid the pressure that forged you. They dodge the lessons that strengthened you. They choose comfort over clarity, shortcuts over growth, noise over truth. But you take the long route, the hard route, the route that builds character so sharp it could cut glass. People admire your strength because it's not the kind that breaks things. It's the kind that withstands. They admire your wisdom because it's not borrowed. It's earned. They admire your presence because it feels like someone who knows exactly who they are, even if you're still figuring some pieces out. And listen, let me tell you something that might sting a little. Most people aren't rooting for you to fail. They're just shocked you haven't. They're shocked you're still rising, shocked you're still learning, shocked you're still becoming someone even you would have admired years ago. But here's the punchline. They admire you because deep down, they wish they had the guts to evolve the way you do. They wish they had your patience, your insight, your self-control, your emotional intelligence, your ability to hold yourself together, even when everything around you is falling apart. You're impressive not because life has been easy, but because you didn't let the hard parts twist you into something bitter. You're impressive because you kept your heart open, your mind sharp, and your standards high. You're impressive because you didn't settle for the version of yourself that the world tried to trap you in. You're impressive because you grew, because you kept growing, because you keep growing now. So go on. Keep unsettling people with that calm strength. Keep surprising them with that quiet wisdom. Keep inspiring them without trying. Keep walking into rooms like someone who doesn't need validation to feel real. Because whether you notice it or not, whether they admit it or not, so many admire you. And even more are learning from you without ever saying a word. And the wild thing is, you don't even realize the effect you have on people. You walk in with that quiet, collected energy, and it shifts the whole atmosphere without you even trying. It's like you carry this mix of calm and intensity that makes people straighten up a little, think a little deeper, reflect a little harder. They feel it. They don't always understand it, but they feel it. You've become that person others watch out of the corner of their eye, not out of fear, but out of respect. because you navigate life with this strange blend of humility and absolute inner power that most folks can't even fake. And, you have no idea how rare that is. You know what's even crazier? People admire your strength not just for the big moments, but for the tiny ones they think you don't notice. The way you listen without judging. The way you stay level-headed when everyone else is losing their minds. The way you hold yourself accountable when nobody's watching. The way you learn lessons without needing the whole world to applaud you for it. It's those small, private choices that built the version of you everyone sees now. All those nights you chose discipline over distraction. All those mornings you dragged yourself up even though everything inside you said, just rest a little longer. All those times you kept your cool, even when someone was begging you to break character. That's where your strength lives. In the stuff that never made it to social media, never made it into a story, never made it into the world's awareness. And honestly, people admire your wisdom because you don't shove it down their throats. You don't sit there pretending to be some all-knowing guru. You just speak from experience, from scars, from lessons learned the hard way. And something about that hits different, because it's not performative, it's not exaggerated, it's not about looking smart. It's about being real. You've turned your experiences into insight, and your insight into self-awareness, and your self-awareness into this subtle kind of leadership that people gravitate toward without even meaning to. You don't chase the spotlight. It just naturally falls on you, because you carry yourself like someone who knows the value of silence, the weight of words, the power of presence. And, people admire your strength because it doesn't come out as aggression or ego. It's not chest beating, loud, look at me, strength. It's the strength that shows up in tough conversations, in emotional self-control, in seeing through manipulation, in avoiding drama, in protecting your peace like it's sacred. That kind of strength is intimidating, not the flashy kind, the grounded kind, the unshakable kind, the I've survived enough to know what matters kind. And your wisdom, it's the type that makes people come to you for advice, even when they swore they wouldn't let anyone help them, because you talk in a way that feels honest, not rehearsed. You break things down in a way that makes people realize they've been overcomplicating everything. You speak from a place they recognize, a place that life forced you to build from scratch. You've become this unexpected role model, and half the time, you don't even realize the impact you're making. But people see the discipline you built in chaos. They see the clarity you gained from heartbreak. They see the maturity that came from choosing growth over revenge. They see the emotional intelligence that came from learning to understand yourself instead of escaping yourself. And, that's why your presence rattles people in the best way. You remind them of what they could be if they stopped running from themselves. You remind them of how powerful a person becomes when they embrace accountability, introspection, patience, and resilience. You remind them that strength doesn't always look loud. Sometimes it looks like someone who refuses to let their past dictate their character. Sometimes it looks like someone who can sit with their emotions without drowning in them. Sometimes it looks like someone who can forgive without forgetting, move on without breaking, and love without losing themselves. You've reached a point where people admire you quietly. They won't always say it out loud. Pride makes them swallow their compliments. But their behavior exposes the truth. The way they listen when you speak. The way they copy your discipline. The way they ask for your opinion on things they should have figured out themselves. The way they calm down when you enter the room. The way they trust you with the stuff they don't tell anyone else. You've become someone whose energy carries weight, whose insight carries clarity, whose presence carries comfort. Someone who moves through the world with a type of strength that isn't for show. It's for survival. Someone who carries wisdom like a lantern, lighting up paths for people who can't see their own way. Yet, someone who keeps evolving in ways that make others want to evolve too. And what people don't admit out loud is how much they rely on your stability without even realizing they're doing it. It's this subtle thing. You become the quiet anchor in the room, the calm voice in the chaos, the person whose reactions set the tone for everyone else. They watch how you handle pressure, how you think before you speak, how you choose your battles, and they mirror that. They learn from that. They grow because of that. And half the time, you're just being yourself. There's this almost unspoken respect that follows you around. You know, people might not hype you up publicly. They might not throw confetti when you walk in, but they observe you in ways that tell the truth. The way they pause to hear your opinion, the way they wait for your reaction before deciding how they feel, the way they settle down just because you stepped into the space. It's this quiet influence you have, not forced, not demanded, just naturally there because your strength and your wisdom make people feel grounded. And the crazy thing is you earned that without being loud, without stepping on people, without pretending to be perfect. You earned it by wrestling with your own demons in private. You earned it by holding yourself accountable even when it hurt. You earned it by admitting your flaws instead of hiding them behind fake confidence. You earned it by walking through things that many people would have folded under. People don't understand how much depth you carry because they only see the surface level version of you. The collected one, the stable one, the thoughtful one. They don't see the nights where you sat in silence trying to figure out how to make life make sense again. They don't see the moments where you almost gave up, but something inside you whispered, just one more step. They don't see the inner battles you fought and won without ever telling a soul. But that's exactly why your strength hits different, because it's built from experiences you had to navigate alone. Your wisdom comes from every version of you that had to learn the hard way. Every choice that cost you something. Every lesson that took a piece of you before giving anything back. Every situation where you had to grow faster than you felt ready to. You didn't just wake up wise. You were shaped into it. And, it shows in the way you move. The way you don't react impulsively. The way you don't feed chaos, the way you don't let people drag you into their emotional storms, the way you understand things without needing them explained 100 times. It's like you've developed this emotional radar that most people don't have. The kind that lets you see through motives, patterns, behaviors, all of it. People admire that, they trust that, they depend on that. Your strength, it's the kind that doesn't back down, but also doesn't lash out. It's the kind that stands tall without needing to make everyone else small. It's the kind that protects your peace, even if it means standing alone. It's the kind that sees things clearly, even the things that are painful to see. And, you've become the kind of person others look at when they're trying to figure out how to grow up emotionally. Because you've got this balance, this blend of compassion and boundaries, softness and steel, patience and awareness. You can hear someone's pain without absorbing it. You can understand someone's perspective without letting it break yours. You can care without losing yourself in the process. People admire your wisdom because it feels human, not robotic, not perfect, not scripted, just real. Real enough to connect with anyone, no matter where they come from. Real enough to comfort people who aren't easy to comfort. Real enough to challenge people who aren't easy to challenge. Real enough to inspire people who never admit they're inspired. There's something steady about you that people depend on, even when you're not talking. Something grounded in your presence, in your silence, in the way you look at the world, like you've already survived everything it could possibly throw at you. Something reassuring that makes people feel like maybe they can handle their own storms too. And it's the way you manage your emotions that really hits people on a level they don't even have the vocabulary for. You don't explode, you don't crumble, you don't throw your pain at others like it's their job to hold it for you. You process, you reflect, you adjust, you stabilize. And that right there, that emotional discipline, is something people admire, even if they pretend they don't notice. Because most folks are walking around with their feelings spilling everywhere, reacting before thinking, taking everything personally, drowning in their own impulsiveness. Meanwhile, you're out here moving with intention, moving with awareness, moving with a kind of self-control that feels rare in a world overflowing with noise. People gravitate toward that without even realizing they are. It's like you've got this internal compass that always points toward clarity. And seeing you navigate your life with that level of direction makes others question their own habits. They watch you handle pressure with a straight spine and steady breath, and it challenges them. It inspires them. It humbles them. And the way you carry your wisdom, that's what really gets them. It's not flashy. It's not dramatic. It's not, look how enlightened I am. It's practical, human, lived. You've got a kind of understanding that was built from being thrown into situations you never asked for, but still mastered. That wisdom shows in the way you listen, the way you give advice without forcing it, the way you point out truths people needed to hear even if they weren't ready for them. Your presence has this grounding effect that calms people down, even when they didn't come to you for help. It's in the way you observe before speaking, the way you catch details others miss, the way you can feel a room's energy shift and adjust yourself without saying a word. People admire that skill, even if they can't name it. They can sense it, and it sticks with them long after the moment passes. You've got this combination of emotional intelligence and inner resilience that makes people look at you and think, yeah, that right there is someone who's been through something and didn't let it break them. You can see it in their eyes when they talk to you. That subtle mix of respect, curiosity, and admiration. Not because you're perfect, but because you're aware, because you're intentional, because you're evolving in ways they wish they had the courage to pursue. And it's honestly kind of beautiful how you've turned so many painful experiences into strength instead of bitterness. Most people let the hard chapters turn them cold, closed off, or chaotic. But you use them like stepping stones. You use them to understand yourself better. You use them to understand people better. You use them to grow in ways most never do because they're too busy avoiding discomfort. That's the part that catches people off guard. The way your wisdom doesn't come from privilege or luck, but from endurance. Your strength didn't come from being protected by the world. It came from facing it, and the way you carry all of that with such quiet confidence. Honestly, that's the kind of thing that sticks with people longer than any speech, any quote, any inspirational moment. There's this aura you have, this unspoken message that you're not easily shaken, not easily fooled, not easily broken. It's the sort of strength people trust, even when they're not sure why. And, whether you realize it or not, your presence gives hope to people who don't know how to articulate what they're feeling. They look at you and see proof that healing is possible, that growth is real, that wisdom can come from pain without turning someone bitter. Your strength teaches more than your words. Your wisdom guides more than your advice. Your energy impacts more than your actions. And the people around you, even the ones who rarely speak up, feel all of it every time you walk into the room. And what really gets people is how you don't even try to make a big deal out of any of it. You're not walking around acting like you've figured out the universe. You're not trying to outshine anyone. You're not flexing your growth like it's some trophy. You're just living, steadily, quietly, intentionally. And somehow that ends up being more powerful than anything loud or dramatic ever could be. It's the way you move through things that would have completely shattered someone else. The way you stay present, even when life hits you with stuff you never saw coming. The way you adapt, adjust, pivot, and keep going without turning every challenge into a performance. People see that and it hits them on a level they don't talk about, because it reminds them of what real strength actually looks like. And they admire how you can sit with your own thoughts without running from them. A lot of people can't do that. They drown themselves in distraction, noise, chaos, anything that keeps them from hearing their own inner voice. But you face yourself. You look at your fears without spiraling. You look at your mistakes without collapsing. You look at your patterns without pretending they're someone else's fault. That level of honesty with yourself. People don't even realize how rare that is.